What's going on, guys? It's Cameron here with Canadian Gamer. Just a quick video, a fun little video here. And this one's going to be basically not hidden gems, but what are the most obscure games or the harder to games to come by in the wild that you were lucky enough to stumble upon and pick up and grasp. So without further ado, before I get into it as well, I just want to mention I've recently subscribed to a gentleman's channel. He's based out of Australia. His name's Kent's, I think it's Kent's Games Collection. I'll leave a link in the description below. I've kind of hit it off with the guy. He's amazing. It's funny, he kind of reminds me of another guy's channel. I won't name names. And I used to be good friends with that guy, and he sort of flaked out a bit. But it's just funny how one door closes and another one opens. And Kent's Collection, his channel is amazing. The guy does very much a similar format. His channel is much better than mine. He sits there and he kind of chews off what's on his mind, and he gets out what he wants to say. He doesn't pull any punches. He keeps it real. And not only that, he's very knowledgeable. 30 years of experience gaming. Very knowledgeable gentleman. So if you get a chance, check out Kent's Games Collection. It's just an amazing channel, so I really appreciate that guy. So without further ado, going to quickly show you some of the more harder to find games that I was very lucky to find in the wild. So the first one is, and this was from several months ago, I was at a Value Village in Ottawa, and at the back of the store, near all the beat-up electronics, they had in the DVD section, where all the DVD and Blu-ray players were, they had a PS2. So, again, what's the first thing you do when you find a system in the wild? You try to pop it open and see if there's a game inside. Well, that's exactly what I did, and I lucked out, and I was able to pick up the original Half-Life for the PS2. I actually recreated the cover as best as I could for the game. I don't have the manual, obviously, but the reason why I put this on here is because the game itself, it's not exactly a rare game on the PC, but I'm telling you now, if you go out to the wild looking for this game, it fetches a high dollar. You're not typically going to find it at the flea market or the yard sale. You'll have to go to a boutique store, and you might be prepared to pay upwards of $30 for this game. So it's shot up in price. For some reason, it's extremely hard to find. HalfLife 2 is easy to find on the original Xbox, but this game was originally being developed for the Dreamcast, and then they sort of axed it. And there's it's really interesting if you look it up. There is a way you can play the original Dreamcast game, and it's really interesting to compare it to this version of the game to see the differences. It's how far along they were with that Dreamcast version of this game. They were almost complete. The second one here, I've never seen this title out in the wild. I think I saw it once in downtown Toronto at a boutique store, but other than that, you'll never find this. I was lucky enough, I was out near my mother's place. She lives in a very small town along the U.S. border, and there's a pawn shop there, and obviously, it's such a small town, there's not a lot of traffic that comes through. And I went in there, all his PS2 games were the same price. I think they're like $3, $4. And I scanned through nothing but sports games. Took a look around the store. I went back. A lot of times I do that. I'll go back and I'll look one more time. Because sometimes your eyes can play tricks on you. It's almost like looking at a Magic Eye poster. And there's something standing right in front of you. You're looking at it and you just don't see it. So that's exactly what happened here. And I actually picked up a copy of Raw Danger. Now, if you guys haven't heard what this is, it's like I wouldn't say survival horror, it's like a survival game. There's a natural disaster, and it's a third-person view, and you have to get through, it's like an earthquake. I haven't played a lot of it, to be honest. I've played about 3 hours of it, but it's extremely rare. This is the sequel. There's a first game in the series. It's not called Raw Danger. I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head. But if you look it up online, it's by Agesec, Agecec. Yes, like I said, extremely rare. The disc has a couple of scuffs on it, but I'm not going to cry over spilled milk. So, like I said, extremely sought after. This game's going to fetch you a nice $1 if you're looking for it. One of the harder to find games on the PS2. Speaking of another hard to find game, I picked this up recently at the flea market for, I believe, $5. I've never seen it before in the wild, and that's Extermination. This is very much a survival horror game. I have played a couple of hours of it so far, and from what I've played, I really enjoy it. It was actually published by Sony, believe it or not. And it's actually, it's a DVD format, but it is an earlier PS2 game, as far as I'm aware. But yeah, it's done by Dead Space Studios, so it's really obscure. Good luck finding this one in the wild. Another one that's sort of shot up in price online. And then we've got here, this one is another extremely sought after Holy Grail on the original Xbox. On mine, the cover is a little bit faded, but I'm not too concerned about it. And that's Curse, the Eye of Iesus. Now, if you guys have heard of this game, you know what I'm talking about. It is a Resident Evil clone. Obviously, it's not quite as good as Resident Evil, but it is very good. I got pretty far into it. Really enjoyed what I played of it so far. I picked this one up at a boutique store, believe it or not, in Ottawa, and I don't even think they knew what they had, and they had this price for $9.99. And of course, when you see a game like this out in the wild for that price, your eyes jump out of your head, and then you immediately look around to see if someone else is looking to take the game, and then you snatch it. It's just, your heart rate has been elevated, and all the rest of it. So, yeah, really happy to have this game. It's obviously got some Videotron sticker on it. Gotta be careful with these stickers, because sometimes you try to get them off and you do more damage than it's worth. So that's probably what happened with the case, because you can see it's cut. Somebody probably tried to rip the sticker off, and they did so much damage they ended up cutting the sleeve. So the last one is, this is a recent one I picked up. Picked it up at the flea market. I never thought in my wildest dreams I would ever find this game in the wild. And if I ever did find it, I thought I'd have to pay close to $100, which is what it's going for right now online. And that's Stubbs the Zombie, Rebel Without a Pulse. One of the most expensive original Xbox games you can find. It's right up there with Outrun Coast to Coast 2006, Jurassic Park Operation Genesis, and then of course Predator Concrete Jungle as well. So yeah, this one is immaculate. Probably you won't find one in better shape than this. Like, it's literally pristine. Whoever owned this never took this out. The disc is mint. There's no scratches on the disc. There's even a Stubbs the Zombie soundtrack. You could mail it out to get the soundtrack. I'd like to see anyone else have this. Hancock probably doesn't even have this. So it's extremely rare, hard to find game, extremely sought after. I can't believe I picked it up for $30. The guy even said to me at the flea market, he said, you know that's a $100 game. He was trying to sell this along with his original Xbox and 30 other games for $85. So just an unbelievable deal, which I would have bought, but I already have 2 original Xboxes. I don't need 3. So save it for the next collector. And yeah, absolutely ecstatic to have this in my collection. I'm going to try to pop it on today. I haven't played it yet. I'm just so caught up here with my back catalog, and that's a video for another day as well. So I didn't get around to it, but yeah, beer of the day. Obviously, Darius, if you're watching, you're familiar with Alexander Keith's. It's a staple in Canada. It's one of the few Canadian beers that I'll actually drink. So that's it. I'd like to hear from you guys. What are some Holy Grail chase pieces that you were lucky enough to stumble across in the wild? If so, let me know in the comments below. As always, guys, I want to thank you for watching. You guys have a great day. Take care.